Howdy folks, Jeff here with AAPEX TV, and we've wandered around on the upstairs and found Gates, one of my favorite companies. We've been dealing with Gates belts and hoses for years, and everyone knows that they're OE quality and they're really great products. And we're standing in front of a display here, and we want to find out what's going on with the new EV stuff. And so I've got Steve here with me with all this display.
Thanks. My name's Steve Baysinger, and I run the product management department in Denver at Gates headquarters, and this is a Tesla Model 3 showing some of the content that Gates has on this vehicle.
Because when we talk about Gates belts and hoses, and then we talk about EV vehicles, a lot of folks, because of the media, are thinking that EV doesn't need maintenance, doesn't require maintenance. You're not going to have to replace parts on an EV other than worrying about the batteries. And that's really not true. That's what your display's showing.
Correct. There's a lot of things that are not on the EVs that are on traditional vehicles. We don't have mechanical water pumps, we have electric water pumps. We don't have rubber hoses, we have a lot of molded thermoplastic hoses in the cooling system, which is really more of a thermal management system. So when you check out this display, you can see that there's actually a lot of content that is going to need to be replaced, and Gates has that content for you.
And you're working with the OEs as far as on the design and stuff, and when you see all this spaghetti of stuff, you know, all of the hoses that you manufacture have unique fittings right here. They're spring-loaded, and there's a fitting in here. And when you mention about the cooling systems, we have the cooling system for the batteries. We have the cooling and heating system for the vehicle. In other words, to keep you warm in the car, especially up in Denver where you get the snow in the mountains.
Yes, that's right. So yes, there's a little bit of a misnomer out there that not having belts and rubber hoses on the car would make that Gates wouldn't need have parts that would need to be replaced, but that's really not the case, and I think the display demonstrates that pretty well.
Pretty well as far as everything that's involved. And as you notice, this up here it runs through all the cooling systems because you'll still have radiators and stuff like that, and some of this lines run all the way to the back on other components that are back there. So Gates is always staying up with the modern technology. Y'all are actually staying ahead of the game.
That's correct. A lot of the EVs really haven't hit the replacement cycle yet, so people don't really know about this stuff, but it's not going to be that long until these cars are 8, 9, 10 years old, and this stuff's going to need to be replaced. And as you mentioned, with the unique connections, and we provide exactly what came on the car originally, that's going to be really important to the technicians that have to do the replacement.
But even when we talk about the age on them being 8 or 10 years old, because these are thermoplastic, they are involved with the heat, but also it doesn't mean that the folks aren't going to get in a collision, and the body shops are going to see these a lot sooner than 9 or 10 years old. They're going to see them as immediately, but the big deal is letting the shop owners and the technicians know that they don't have to go to a Tesla, they don't have to go to the manufacturer, because y'all's products are actually OE designed.
That's right. So at Gates, we pride ourselves on giving you exactly what came on the car, the original equipment. And again, that's important for the people that are doing the install, but also for the performance and the life of the product.
And all the little bends and stuff, because people can see it looks like spaghetti here, but all of these are bent a certain way because of the components on the vehicle. So it's not like a universal hose, and we just can't grab this and bend it a certain way.
That's right. It's not rubber hose. It's not just going to bend like your garden hose. It is molded in that shape so that it packages correctly in the vehicle.
And then when you put it on and the customer opens the hood and it looks just like it did when it came new.
That's right, and that's the same way with our traditional rubber hoses. We have the same strategy, but even more critical on the new electric vehicles.
And when you talk about the rubber hoses and stuff, a lot of them now have gone to where they have one hose and you'll have multiple junctions coming off of there. So again, just like right here, that fitting has to be made a certain way and connected a certain way to fit around the components on the vehicle.
Absolutely. If it's not packaged correctly and doesn't fit correctly in the vehicle, it's going to get in harm's way where it could get, punctured or near a heat source that's going to melt it. So it's very critical that everything is exactly as it was on the original car.
So, Steve, I so much appreciate you taking time and letting us come into your booth and see all the deals. Because folks that watch my videos know we use all of the Gates products, and y'all have a wider range of the stuff here for all the folks to see. But a lot of folks, because this is the last day, they might not make it over here, but they can watch this on the replay with AAPEX TV, and then y'all will post it on your site, and you have a lot of training that's available on your Gates website.
Absolutely. So we encourage you to go to gates.com, look at all the training that we do have, and we appreciate you coming by and putting this on AAPEX television for us.
Oh, well, thank you. As always, we appreciate you watching.